Hi, I'm Laura from Hair Hardware, and today I'm going to show you how to make a little tiny baby bow. The materials that I'm using are this heat sealing ribbon cutter, a needle and thread. I'm using a standard double prong alligator clip. I'm using a mini single prong clip because it's a small bow, and I'm using 3/8 grosgrain ribbon. This color happens to be hot pink, and I'm also using a pin. To get started, you're going to want to cut your ribbon to about 12 inches in length. You can go smaller than that for mini bows, but 12 inches is a good length to start with. It can be a little tricky working with such a small bow. So I'm going to heat seal the ends of my ribbon. So I'm going to use my heat sealing ribbon tool. We sell this at Hair Hardware. There's a little wire in here that will cut and heat seal the edge. So I'm just going to make a nice clean cut there. I'm going to close that, hold it for 2 seconds, and as you can see, it cut it and heat sealed it. Now I want it to be 12 inches long, so I'm going to mark it a little past where I want it to cut with a pen, and then I'm going to put it back in here, line it up, hold it for 2 seconds, and there it cut it for me. So now we're done with this for now. To make your bow, you're going to take your ribbon, you're going to put the ends together, you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to take your pin, you're going to stick your pin through the fold area that marks the exact center. Then you're going to take one end, flip it over, bring it around, and stack it on the pin like that. Now pay attention to how much ribbon length you have after the pin, because you want to make sure that this next piece has that same amount so that your bow is symmetrical. Okay, so now you have a pin in the middle, a loop on the bottom, and a loop on the top. Now you're going to want to take one of the loops, kind of pull it to get the center, bring it down, and stack it on top of the pin, and then you're going to do the same thing with the other loop, like that. So you end up with 2 parallel pieces of ribbon on the back, and then in the front you have a cross. This is the front of your bow, and this will be the back of your bow. Now you're going to take an alligator clip. I know normally I suggest using something like a salon clip to hold your ribbon while you tie it or sew it, but these little bows are too small for those clips. So you can use a double prong alligator clip to hold it in place for you. And what I'm doing now is just making sure that my ribbon looks symmetrical, that my X is angled the right way, my loops look right. So once you tie it or sew it, if it's crooked or lopsided before you tie it, it's definitely going to be worse after you tie it, and you won't be able to adjust it. So you want to make sure that at least your loops look symmetrical, and that on the back these 2 pieces of ribbon are straight. Once you have it like that, the way you want it, you can take the pin out. Now normally I like to tie my bows, but this kind of little tiny bow, it's difficult to tie because there's too much pressure from the ribbon in the center here. When you tie it, it's going to slip, and it's going to it's just going to give you a wide open center. So these little bows, I sew them. So what you need is a needle and thread, and here I've done a pretty generous knot at the end. I think I triple knotted that. And you're going to start on the back. You're going to make sure that you pierce the back of the ribbon at the bottom of one of the straight pieces of ribbon, and when you come up on the front, that you pierce through the very top of the X. Just make sure you have all that covered. pull it all the way through, and then you're going to go back down like this. Careful not to slide it off there like I almost did. And then you're going to come back up. You should end up with about 2 stitches on the front. Oops. Okay, there you go. Okay. And then when you do your second stitch, when you're going down from the front, you're going to want to make sure you pierce the top of the X, and when you come back through to the other side, that you go through the second parallel piece of ribbon on the back. Okay, now you have enough stitches in there that it's stable, and you can take the bow out of the clip. And then what you do is you pull your ribbon, or pull your thread, and you kind of can be a little tricky to get it to fold in at first. What you want it to do is you want it to fold like an accordion to give you that center crease. So go like that, and then you're going to take your extra thread length and you just wrap it around like that, tight. Just go around a few times. And then you're going to want to just secure the back, so I just go straight through like that. And then again, and this time loop your ribbon. This time loop your thread through like that, to make sure that you knot the back. Okay, so now you can trim your threads. And you have your little mini bow. Okay, now just take the knot and kind of squish it up to the center like that. And now you're going to take your glue gun and you're going to put a little dot of glue right in the center of the bow. Definitely not too much with these little bows, because the glue will ooze out on the side. And just put the knot right on top of the glue. Then you're going to turn the bow back around. And on the other side, you're going to need to trim off these extra pieces. Now you're going to want to put some glue on one side, press it down, and then on the other side, and press it down over that. Okay, so now it's ready to attach to your hardware. Now for this case, for a mini bow, I usually attach it to like a mini alligator clip like this. This is a mini single prong alligator clip. This is a standard alligator clip. This is a double prong, and these are just a little bit too big for this kind of bow that I'm attaching. So I'm going to use this mini one. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check to make sure that this mini felt circle is the best choice for this bow. So I'm going to put this felt circle inside the alligator clip like that, and then I'm just going to put the bow on top of it without any glue or anything, and I'm just going to check and see. I can see that this felt circle is probably not the best choice for this bow because it's too big, and you'll be able to see it on the side. So an alternative is to just use a little tiny piece of the same color ribbon. So what you would do is you would attach it the same way you'd attach it with a felt circle. You'd put it inside the alligator clip like that, and then we're going to glue it on the back like that, and then glue the sides up, and you won't even be able to see it on the sides because it'll be the same color. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue in the middle of the little piece of ribbon, which is about, oh maybe, let's see, I'll tell you exactly here. It's a 1/2 inch long. Okay, so I have it inside the alligator clip. The alligator clip's not glued shut, it's just on the inside. So now I'm going to put more glue on the piece of ribbon, and now I'm going to lay the bow right on top of it. I'm going to turn it over right away and press the extra 2 pieces of ribbon up on the side of the bow. So you can't even see it on there. And now it's attached to the alligator clip, and you can see inside here is a nice neat little strip of ribbon, and you have your mini bow ready to be worn.